Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. I've just wrapped up SCS Rogue Heroes Season 2. So it's time to start a new series, or actually series I've watched before, because I'm going to continue now with the Tudors. And I've already watched Season 1, did a reaction to that. If you haven't seen those reactions, the playlist is in the description. You can find all 10 episodes there that I did a reaction to. That was a season I really liked. I never saw it. It was one of those shows that I just kept pushing forward. You know, I had to watch it, but I never had the time for it. All the time something else came out, or I was busy watching other shows, or, you know, I just keep putting it off to watch it. I did watch Vikings though. I really liked that one. So after I finished Vikings, I was like, now I need to see Tudors because it's from the same creator. And so yeah, finally came around to it, to watch it. And maybe it was a blessing in disguise, you know, that I haven't seen it, so I could watch it for this channel and experience it for the first time. Got a lot of great reactions as well from people who are a big fan of the show, which is of course not 100% historically accurate. You know, not many shows or movies are. I've talked about it in a lot of other reactions that I did to other movies and other TV shows. You know, not a single movie or TV show out there is 100% accurate. They always have to change things, add things. You know, some things we may not like that they add or change. Maybe we don't understand a lot of these changes that they do, but some of them are necessary because you have to condense timelines into shorter periods, shorter events. But yeah, especially this show has a lot of changes in it, and maybe I will do in the future some stuff about that. Maybe make some different videos about that, about all the changes that they did. All the maybe were mistakes, or they were done on purpose. I don't know. They played around with a lot of characters, a lot of dates as well. People being shown weren't even at court, maybe, or maybe much later. People getting married, people dying at different years that they actually died in. But yeah, you have to talk to Michael Hirst, the creator of the show, why he did that. I don't know. Like I said, maybe he wanted to just show certain characters and they weren't involved with the Tudor court at that time, but maybe he was like, hey, I need those characters to be shown in this TV show, and maybe it doesn't really work out in the actual timeline that they were. I don't know, just guessing by now. But yeah, this show has a lot of changes. It's not 100% historically accurate. If you know that in advance before watching it, you know, you're still gonna enjoy it. I don't think when you watch this show you have to nitpick everything, like, oh, that guy that we see now, he wasn't even at court at this time, or you know, stuff like that. I don't think you have to do that. Just enjoy it. It's a drama show first and foremost. They of course dramatized the whole life of Henry VIII, Katherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn. A lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors. You know, we never knew if that happened or not. So that might as well all be made up. You know, we don't know about the conversations that Anne and Henry had behind closed doors. That's all made up. But it's a drama show. They do that for drama, of course. You want to maybe have a glimpse into the lives of these people and how it was like to live at court. And so I think they did a pretty good job. You know, it looks great. The costumes look amazing. The sets are a little bit maybe a little bit fake here and there. You can see they were clearly filmed in a soundstage and everything. Maybe the second season will step it up. Maybe they got some more funding for the second season. I don't know. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed myself. I didn't watch it as a documentary, and you know, I could nitpick every little thing that they changed, a little mistake that they did. But yeah, I'm choosing not to do so. Just enjoy the storyline and the characters and the actors, how they portray it, and that's also pretty well done. So yeah, so today I'm going to start with season number 2. Season 1 ended with the death of Cardinal Wolsey. His conspirators, or his enemies, finally got rid of him, and you know, he killed himself. I think he cut his own throat. One of those things that never happened. I think he was in the tower of London. He was imprisoned in the Tower of London when he did that, or in some other castle, I don't know. But actually, you know, he was summoned in real life. He was summoned to London to answer for some stuff that he did. And while he was traveling there, he got sick. Maybe he's got a heart attack or a stroke, depending on the resources that you read. And he died. So he never cut his own throat. I don't think he would ever kill himself, because, you know, especially back then when you did kill yourself, they thought, yeah, that you were going to hell. So I don't think Wolsey was really keen on going to hell. Also, of all the things that he did also during his lifetime, he thought maybe he would get away with that. But, you know, killing yourself, that's a bit much. But, you know, in the context of the TV show, I understood why they did that. And when you want to have some big payoff, he's the major villain of the first season, and you want him to die in a certain way, and maybe en route to London and die of a heart attack is maybe not how you want to see one of the main enemies, or the main villains of the season go down. So I think that's why they did that. But yeah, as long as you know the real history, you can maybe accept it a little bit better. But yeah, so that's how season 1 ended. Henry and Anne Boleyn were still not married at the end of season 1. It took a lot of episodes for him to even get an annulment, which he didn't get at the end of the first season. He was still struggling to get it. I think the Pope, he assigned some cardinals and who had to take a decision on that matter. They held like a little trial. It seemed almost like, you know, Henry was interrogated, Catherine walked out on that court, you know, and the cardinal said at the end, you know, the Pope has to decide. But I think the Pope was still in exile by then, so he couldn't do that. So it's now still up for discussion. You know, he still didn't get the annulment. We know from the history books that he won't get it, and that's why he breaks away from the Catholic Church. So that's what we're probably going to see in the second season. And yeah, I think we're going to eventually, of course, see the marriage between Anne and Henry. Maybe also, I think, the birth of their daughter, Elizabeth. I think we're going to see that as well. I don't know if they are going to show the execution of Anne Boleyn. I think they will have to, because this show only has 4 seasons. And if you haven't done the execution of Anne Boleyn by the end of season 2, you're going to get a little bit of trouble, because he has 4 more wives after that, and they all have to show all those wives. You know, some of them he wasn't married to for a very long time, like Anne of Cleves. But I think, yeah, at some point they have to step it up, the pacing a little bit. So maybe my prediction is, you know, maybe we're going to see the coronation, we're going to see the wedding, we're going to see the birth of the child, and maybe in the final episode we're going to see the execution of Anne Boleyn. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how they show that in this TV show, if they're going to stick to the facts or maybe change a little bit here and there. She wasn't the only one executed. There were a lot of people who paid with their lives. So it's probably going to be a pretty bloody season. And so yeah, I'm really excited to check it out. And for now, I'm going to just start this first episode of the second season of the Tudors. And let's check it out. Yeah, let's go. Oh, he's now praying with Anne. And not with Catherine anymore. I wonder if she's still around at the court. You know, I think in season 1 he told her to go get away and to leave, but she was still around for the rest of the season, so... Oh, there she is. Everybody's praying in this episode. Yeah, also eager to see, you know, Thomas More steps it up, you know. He was executing a lot of people in the end of season 1. Burning them and everything. So we have to wait and see if he continues with that.
So does the Emperor. He has written this letter of encouragement and support for your efforts on her behalf.
Yeah, don't think you have to show the letters like that, you know. If Henry sees that, he's gonna chop off your head. That's treason. He doesn't really like the Emperor at this point.
I've received a petition from the members of the House of Commons, complaining of the cruel behavior and abuses of the prelates and the cleargy.
Got a little mustache, goatee.
People are asking for freedom from clerical rule.
Your Majesty
Yeah, you're not gonna get that from him.
worked hard to eliminate them and purify our holy church. But
Purify. He means burning people, probably.
permanent and living sign of God's presence. It is a visible, palpable community.
Oh, that look on his face, he's still pretty fanatic about everything that goes on with the church.
My loyalty and love for your Majesty is so great that I will never say a word against you in public. So help me God.
Well, his refusal to go along with Henry's changes in the church isn't this going to cost him his life, so...
You are generally charged with supporting the authority of the late Cardinal Wolsey and the Bishop of Rome against that of your own king and country.
Yeah, I think they have to pick a side.
May suppose I seek personal advantage.
He does. He wants the annulment.
Before I deliver it, I give way to His Grace, the Most Reverend Bishop Fisher, the Bishop of Rochester.
Yeah, we all know how he feels about the annulment.
We are asked to admit His Majesty as supreme head of the Church in England. Unfortunately, we cannot grant this to the King.
So he's opposed to the annulment, and now he's opposed to the decision to make Henry the head of the church.
Regal supremacy over our holy church would represent a tearing asunder of the seamless coat of Christ.
Yeah, Fisher is not making any friends with Henry. That's why he will be executed, of course.
But I add the caveat, as far as the law of Christ allows.
That's pretty smart. By adding that line, he's not the supreme head of the church. So that whole title is meaningless because of that one sentence. I don't think he's going to accept that. Yeah, he's not happy.
Your Grace.
He says thank you, but he's not happy. But like I said, the title is basically meaningless now. As far as the teaching of Christ permits it or allows it, but those teachings don't allow it. So it's a meaningless title, and he knows it. Now, do we have a new pope, or is this a different actor playing the same one? Because I don't think there was a new pope at this stage.
Sit down, Cardinal Campeggio. I know you are a martyr to gout. And my feet are killing me too.
It's pretty cool to see Pedo too in this show. Never, I didn't know he was in it.
He meant my predecessor, and frankly, he has a point. Clement was a terrible procrastinator.
Okay, so this is a new pope. So that's not historically accurate as well. Because I don't think there was a new pope until after the coronation of Anne Boleyn. Shortly after that, there was a new pope.
Of his aunt, Catherine the Unhappy.
That's Paul III, I think it was.
What of this girl, this putain, the king's whore?
Anne Boleyn.
Damn.
Come on, just get rid of her.
Get rid of her? You mean kill her? Is he talking about having Anne Boleyn killed? That's those are some big words from the Pope. This Pope is, he's definitely different from the previous one.
I am made head of the Church of England. Is it true?
Now tell her the whole story, man.
Papa, what's wrong?
Okay. Was he watching? That's a little bit creepy.
By default, they voted to make the king head of the church, but only as far as the law of Christ allows.
Yeah. He forgot to mention that, Henry.
As George told me, their resistance and recalcitrance really stem from only one man. The bloody Bishop Fisher.
Yeah. He's the one guy that you need to get rid of.
Ah, Mr. Cranmer.
So sorry to be late, Mr. Cromwell. It's completely unforgivable.
Nonsense. We have...
Cranmer. That's a pretty interesting and well-known name in this period.
And are you not a poet, Mr. Wyatt? That's the least of my sins. You may take my confession after supper.
He's still around as well, Wyatt. Can't believe it, you know. Probably in this episode, if they're going to show Anne Boleyn's execution, they're going to be some other people executed as well. You know, and he's one of the guys that we actually know that he had a relationship with Anne Boleyn. And he survived.
Bishop Fisher, I assume. Naturally. May I ask who else? The Archbishop himself. Warren.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot more of this Cranmer. I don't want to spoil you anything, but he's pretty important. And who is this? And why does he look so scared?
Mr. Rhys.
Yes, sir.
That's Anne Boleyn's father. What's he up to?
You understand what's expected of you.
I do.
What are you going to do? He said he was a cook. Is he the cook of Fisher? I'm going to get rid of Fisher, maybe?
I'll destroy your entire family.
It's like, why did I agree to do this? Yeah, he's definitely going to poison somebody.
This is Mr. Cranmer, of whom I have often spoken. It was Mr. Cranmer who first spoke to the fact that your Majesty's great matter was a theological issue and not a legal one.
You are most welcome here at court. Majesty,
Of course, he speaks in your favor.
Was able to resolve with perfect simplicity and a clarity of mind which put them all to shame.
Majesty,
Yeah, now he's in Henry's favor. That's why he's going to be Archbishop at one point.
His personal chaplain.
Starting with this, personal chaplain. But yeah, he rises to Archbishop at some point.
Must thank His Majesty.
Of course. Majesty.
Doesn't know what to say.
It was well done, Mr. Cranmer. Well done.
Well done. Besides not being able to say anything to the king.
Why her? I love and admire Miss Brooke. My young son needs a mother.
How old is she?
Oh, he's got a new wife.
17.
Catherine Brooke. Don't think that's correct. What's her name? What was her name? I don't think it was Brooke. Willoughby or something like that. So they changed her name. I don't know why.
This time is different.
How different?
I don't know.
Because she's young. That's why it's different.
It's a marriage of true souls. Surely you can understand that.
Yeah, we'll see. See how long that marriage will last and if he is faithful to her.
Oh, son, go away.
Who's in bed with her?
Leave us to our own devices.
Wyatt? Holy shit. Still sleeping with him? That would that was a pretty stupid thing to do, probably.
Always.
Or is he just dreaming it?
How can you say that to us? No one.
We know he's madly in love with her, still maybe. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a dream of his. He just couldn't see her sleeping around now at this point, you know? If she gets caught. Yeah, I think it's a dream. You hear like an echo in their voices and in their moaning. Yeah, here we go. Still dreaming about her.
There is someone here I should like you to meet. Lady Anne Boleyn, this is Mark Smeaton. Dancing master, singer, musician, and general all-round genius.
Holy shit. They're dropping a lot of important characters this season.
How could he possibly be called plain?
My lady.
Mark Smeaton, he's one of the guys that gets executed, tortured and everything for having an affair with Anne Boleyn. And that's the reason why Henry, that's it's not the reasons he gets executed, but that's what they use as an excuse. That he's been sleeping around and everything, and he's one of the guys. I think he even admits of having an affair with her, but yeah, that's after being tortured, so.
Will you show me?
Oh, is he jealous now? First he introduces Smeaton to her, and now he's jealous. Well, let's see who he's gonna poison. I think it's Fisher. Because they were talking about getting rid of Fisher, or that he was the one guy standing in their way. But the real Fisher, he didn't die from poisoning. He was beheaded. So either this is gonna fail, or they changed Fisher's fate.
I wanted to thank your Grace for your speech to Convocation. It was well said and very brave. I spoke only truth.
I believe
Is Thomas More at the table? Oh shit, he is there as well.
does indeed invalidate the whole bill. How can the law of Christ permit a layman?
And if they all eat from that soup or whatever it was, they're all dead.
I must ask you, Sir Thomas, if you still have a mind to resign
Oh man, Thomas More declined the soup.
King's nullity suit, and he has stated
Oh, here we go.
to oppose any legislation.
That's some fast-working poison. Holy shit.
Injurious to the church.
I think Fisher only a little small bite, so. Oh shit, he's dead already.
4 men died of their pains. Bishop Fisher survived only because he ate so little of the soup.
Yeah, like I said, he only had a small bite of it. The cook is in trouble now because they know that he made that soup. So he got a few coins for it, but I don't think he's gonna be able to enjoy it.
Wiltshire's been named.
Boleyn?
Yes. And... well, some...
Don't say Anne.
They'll blame her for the wind that destroys our crops and the storms that sink our ships. It's all the fault of the Lady Anne.
Yeah, he's never gonna believe those rumors. Never. Or never, not at this point. When he wants to get rid of her, then he believes everything he hears.
blatantly and almost successfully to poison one of your Majesty's great public servants, a bishop of our holy church, as well as me.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Everyone would be forced to assume that the attempted murders were done with your blessing.
What are they gonna do to the cook? They're gonna torture him to see who was the people responsible for him giving the poison.
My Lord Boleyn.
Oh. The guy that is responsible walks in. Oh man, they already tortured him. Shit.
Mr. Rhys, we've been going over and over this all day. So, one more time. Who gave you the poison?
Boleyn's like, I'm gonna show my face, remind the guy that I made a threat against his whole family.
Sir, I have 3 daughters.
Yeah, that's why he's never gonna say anything. Or maybe a false name.
I want them to find good husbands. But that takes money.
Oh man, so what he's basically saying now that he took the money to poison Fisher to give his daughters a better future.
Payment is already made. The account's settled.
Yeah, Cromwell was like, I'm not gonna get anything out of this guy. He's accepted that he's going to die.
You, hold a moment.
What's that?
She makes shirts for His Majesty. She always has done.
She still makes his shirts.
Shit. Thinks he's gonna throw a tantrum over that one. You know, she hates Catherine. You know, Catherine sends for everything that she wants to be. You know, she wants to be Henry's wife. She wants to be the queen. As long as Catherine is still there, which apparently she is, she can never be all that, you know.
Sweetheart.
Here we go.
Your shirts. She still makes your shirts. How could you let her?
I hadn't even thought about it.
You told me there was nothing.
Yeah, you can see the difference between a man and a woman, you know. A guy doesn't even think about stuff like that. He's like, you know, they are shirts, I wear them. But for Anne Boleyn, there's a whole symbolism behind him, you know. His wife makes the shirts he's wearing and everything.
You can't have 3 people in a marriage. Why can't you see that?
And why can't you understand that I've more things to think about than my shirts?
Yeah, Henry, it's not about the shirts, dude. Come on. It's about her still living there. Which I can understand from Anne Boleyn's position. As long as Catherine lives there, she's not going to be looked at as the queen.
What did they say? Only Boleyn supported him. Not even his friend Brandon.
Oh, really? Maybe Brandon doesn't support the marriage as well. I don't know.
You're going to have to stop making my shirts.
I thought you liked the shirts I made for you. I see you were wearing one.
So he still thinks it's about the church. Holy shit.
You can go and visit the princess if you like. And you can stay there.
Is he throwing her out?
You know my rightful place is by your side.
Come on, man. Why do you want to be there? I still don't get it. You can be happy, you know. She's always alone. She has her mistresses, of course, who help her and everything, but...
Bless you, sir. Tell my girls I died easily, and with no pain.
What are they going to do to him?
Or however it comes.
Oh man, they're going to boil him? Man, that's gotta be a shitty way to go. And when you're beheaded or anything, that is... Well, your head gets cut off and it's done. But this, get boiled alive, feet first. So he's going to be in a lot of pain. Oh man. Doesn't even bother Boleyn, you know. That guy is a psychopath. Yeah, he's glad the guy's dead, of course, because now he can't betray him anymore. But he just stands there, and I think he enjoys it a little bit as well. Get boiled alive, and then he starts watching that like that, you know. Horrible. Yeah, Anne is dancing with Smeaton.
I want you to do something for me.
Why is he whispering? Are we not allowed to hear it? What does he have to do?
I need to speak to Your Majesty alone.
Oh, is he the bearer of bad news? Gonna kick her out?
The king asks you to be sensible. Withdraw your appeal to Rome and entrust your affairs to his hands. And he promises to be more than generous.
He's never gonna do that. Have they learned anything, you know? He's never going to do that.
Go to Rome if you want.
Yeah, he really thinks that. And she's gonna keep thinking it until the day that she dies. So, he came for nothing. I think he knew that. Maybe Henry deep down knew that as well. If they haven't convinced her at this point, they're never gonna convince her. I was getting upset with Brandon.
Savor her obedience to 2 higher powers.
Which 2 higher powers? Pope and the Emperor?
No. God and her conscience.
That's what he wanted to hear. A little bit naive from him, you know, to think that he's just going to say, yes, I'm going to leave.
He can do what he likes in Rome. I'll do what I like here. Majesty. And by the way,
Damn.
Welcome back to court.
Majesty.
He's pissed off again. Yeah, we have seen him pissed off numerous times about this subject. So.
How should you like to go hunting tomorrow?
If that is what your Majesty...
I don't think that's a big hobby of hers, hunting.
And when we return, we shall be alone.
Alone?
You and
Oh,
I.
he's finally having Catherine leave.
Do you mean it?
I've already given instructions for Catherine to leave.
Hey, you gave them before, right? He was talking about it in season 1. She was still there. But maybe now it's really gonna happen.
Oh.
Yeah, you're happy now. Not for long.
Beautiful morning for a ride.
I don't think I would wear clothes that nice if I want to go hunting. Holy shit. Those clothes look really expensive. Oh man. She's watching them leave. It must be really painful for her. Just say it, dude.
His Majesty commands that you be gone from this place within the month and settled at his house the moor.
Within the month? That's a pretty long time. But yeah, Henry's not coming back until she's gone.
Wherever I go, I remain his wife. And I will pray for him.
Just say screw him at this point. Come on, man.
Majesty wishes that you return to him the official jewels of the Queens of England.
That's extra painful, man. Especially for her.
I will not give up what is rightfully mine to adorn a woman who is the scandal of Christendom.
Doesn't give a choice. He's gonna take them from you, probably. No, there she goes. She wearing black on purpose, you know, because to show that it's a day for mourning that she has to leave. Yeah, she's still got a lot of supporters among the people. Oh, Brendan's there as well. Yeah, I suspected Thomas More was going to be there, but Brendan, turns out he's probably a supporter of Catherine and not of Anne Boleyn. Wonder how this is going to turn out. Yeah, it sucks for her now, you know, but I think she got off pretty good, especially compared to some of the other women, including Anne Boleyn. It's a shame she isn't around when Anne Boleyn gets beheaded, but you know, if she was still alive at that point, she probably would be like, fuck yeah.
I am asked to pass on a message of farewell from the Queen. She regrets that you did not wish her goodbye, and she inquires after your Majesty's health.
Oh man, is this gonna set him off? Don't shoot the messenger, Henry, come on. He's only relaying a message.
Tell the Queen I do not want any of her goodbyes, and have no wish to offer her.
Dude, it's not his fault, man.
Let us stop this and mind our own business. Do you understand me?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Get out.
I hope they pay that guy enough for that kind of abuse. He's only relaying a message, man, come on. I think he just wants to show off with Anne being there.
She's a witch who deserves no other fate than to be dispatched to hell.
And you will assassinate the Lady Anne?
Oh man, they're really gonna do it.
I'm in a position to do so.
They're really gonna actually assassinate Anne Boleyn. It's not gonna work, of course, because we know that. don't think I ever read anything about an assassination attempt on her life. So this looks like something that has been made up for this TV show, because I don't think there's any proof of that. I don't think I ever read any theories about it as well. Nothing. Yeah, like I said, it's a drama show. They need to hype it up, make some more tension maybe, and this is gonna bring in some tension. But yeah, if you know the true history, you know that it's never gonna happen. So that was the first episode of season 2 of the Tudors, and yeah, really good episode. Really liked it. A lot of stuff happened actually. It was not, this is not a show with a lot of action. It's a drama show, so it's more, political scheming, people behind the scenes trying to improve their position, get more power. Kings and queens trying to get rid of each other. People being unfaithful, stuff like that. It's that kind of show. It's not an action show. We're not going to see any battles probably. So yeah, you have to do it with political scheming, and especially if you're aware of the actual history behind this show. There are a lot of people dropped in this episode that are pretty important. So that's pretty cool to see. We just get little glimpses of them. Not as not straight from the start. You're going to see how important they're going to be, but just the name drops. Especially like me, if like Smeaton, the guy. You know about him. He's a musician at court. I think he even becomes Anne's personal musician at some point. And, he's one of the guys that gets incriminated with having an affair with Anne Boleyn when they try to get rid of her and she gets executed. And so, yeah, to see him come along and, what's going to happen. So, yeah, they're going to definitely be working towards Anne Boleyn's execution in this season, because otherwise why would you drop Mark Smeaton in there right from the start in the first episode? So that's pretty cool. Then of course we have Cranmer, who's also a really important character. I'm not going to talk too much about the stuff that's going to happen. I want to talk about the stuff that we saw in this episode. So yeah, it's finally we get to see that Henry is going to get rid of Katherine. She was still living at court. Which baffles me to be actually, because he told her to leave in season 1. Guess she didn't. She was still living there, and of course for Anne Boleyn that's something that's not okay. She wants to be Henry's wife. She wants to be the queen, and as long as Katherine is there, people are going to look at her as the mistress of Henry and not as his wife. So yeah, getting rid of her is definitely something that she's looking forward to. And I think you have to compare it with when you have a relationship with a guy and his ex is still living in the same house as him. That's not something that you want, of course, and you don't want to be exposed to that ex all the time, and that for her happens every day. And but yeah, like I said, I think it's more to do to her position and how people look at her. And so yeah, she's definitely going to leave now. We saw her leave actually, so she's not going to be there anymore. And so yeah, other stuff that happened, of course, was the assassination attempt on Bishop Fisher. I have to be honest, I don't know if it actually happened or not. I don't think I ever read anything about it. I have to Google that. Maybe find out if that really happened. But yeah, it was Boleyn was behind it. He tried to get rid of Fisher because Fisher was the only guy standing in the way of Henry becoming supreme head of the church. Which he is. He is the supreme head of the church, but they threw in a little extra sentence. As long as under the law of Christ it's accepted or something like that, which basically negates everything previous to that. So he's not the supreme head of the church because the law of Christ doesn't allow that. So he has a hollow title that has nothing, no power in it at all. And they blame Fisher for that. He's the one guy that keeps getting in their way, and that's also one of the reasons that he gets executed at some point. But yeah, an assassination attempt on his life with poison and everything. I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. You know, they make up some stuff here and there, like the assassination attempt on Anne Boleyn. That's gonna be happening in maybe the next episode or the episode after that. I don't, you know, I never read anything about that. I've never had read any books that threw that theory up there, or that it is maybe proven that it actually happened. Nothing. So for me, I think that's something they made up for this show. So same could have applied to the assassination attempt on Fisher. That could be made up as well. You know, I don't know. Probably they will do that to highlight the struggle between Fisher and Boleyn. People who are in Henry's favor and people who are against him, to show some of that struggle and how far they are willing to go to get what they want. But yeah, they didn't succeed. Fisher didn't die. He only had a small portion of the soup, or it looked like soup. It was some brown goo that they were eating. A couple of other people died. Thomas More, he didn't eat at all. So yeah, that alone makes me think, you know, that it wasn't a real assassination attempt, that it never happened. He goes over to Bishop Fisher's house for dinner and he doesn't eat. You know, that's a little bit weird. And they only probably have written it in that way because, you know, then you would have an assassination attempt, on Thomas More's life, and that would be recorded without a doubt somewhere in the history books. So him not eating, that's of course a good way to leave him out of that assassination attempt. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you go over to someone's house to have dinner and don't eat? You know, that doesn't make any sense at all. So, but yeah, he's still alive, Fisher, and you know, we know that he's gonna get executed at some point. So we have to wait to see when that happens. And yeah, what else happened? Yeah, the guy that was executed for the assassination attempt on Fisher, the cook, with poison. They boiled him alive. That was actually a sentence that was used back in the day. And like I said, in reaction, for me, that's probably one of the most horrible ways to go. You know, when you get beheaded with a sword or with an axe, or later, a couple hundred years later, with guillotine or anything, that's clean, it's effective, it's fast. Head is gone, you're dead. But being boiled alive, especially feet first, you know, I think the guy was doing the execution asked him, "You want to go head first?" And for some reason he denied that. You know, I think you could better be head first in. That's gonna hurt, of course. You're gonna probably drown and get boiled alive at the same time, but it's gonna be over much faster. But yeah, we could now. He went in feet first. He was screaming a lot, and then he was quiet. So maybe he passed out from all the pain that he was in. You know, that happens. People pass out from a lot of pain. Maybe they lowered him in all the way, and then he drowned. I don't know. Or maybe your body just gets overheated and it shuts down. And but yeah, from what I've read from people being boiled alive, you know, it's a pretty long and excruciating death. I think they can keep it up for a very long time, as long as you don't drown and you stay awake, because the pain is so intense. Like I said, probably people would have passed out from the pain, but if they revive you and then continue the boiling, they can keep that up for a very long time. You know, at some point all your nerve endings are going to be gone. You don't feel a thing anymore, but they can keep it up until your flesh basically falls off your bones. That's a pretty horrible way to go. It's nasty. And you know, one thing that we know is that in those time periods, and maybe even earlier that they were really, really good at thinking up torture ways or how to execute people. You know, if you ever been to like a torture museum, I've been to one, and you see all the different appliances that they use and all the different ways of executing people and torturing people. You know, you could really say that human beings are creative, and especially for that kind of subject. You know, it's a little bit grim and a little bit macabre, of course, but yeah, boiling alive, it's definitely up there. You know, if if you're looking at how people were executed back then. So horrible way to go. And yeah, for the rest of the episode, it was a little bit back and forth between Henry and Anne. And so yeah, I think we talked about everything that happened in this episode, and really looking forward to the rest of the episode, the season. I think it's going to be a really good season. A lot of stuff is going to happen, of course. You know, I think the first season was, of course, establishing Henry as the king, introducing all the characters, his wife, his mistresses, all his friends and everything. And you know, this season you can tell from the start that it's definitely, it's got a heavy subject, and stuff will happen that really matters and made a big impact in the history book. So this is going to be a pretty important season. And yeah, I can't wait to check out the rest of the season. And so for now, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me again on this reaction for the Tudors. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen my previous reactions, I said it in the intro as well. If you haven't seen season 1, playlist is in the description. And yeah, just if you're new to the channel, check out my channel. There's a lot of playlists there. I did a lot of reactions to a lot of stuff. And maybe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, maybe if you check out the rest of the stuff, maybe you're like, hey, this guy is doing some good stuff. And maybe you're like, you know, these guys worth subscribing to. If you do so, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate it. Of course, every content creator on YouTube, we need as much support as we get, and able to make more content. And so yeah, your support is pretty important. And yeah, just by watching this, you're helping the channel. So thank you for that. And hope to see you again on the next one. Hope you join me on the reactions for episode number 2. And for now, I want to say thank you and bye-bye.